So, everyone knows in the Steam Zone, I'm an involved citizen, right? So I got an email from my assembly member, and everyone looking at my email. This is my personal email. My work one is zero inbox guy, but this one it's personal, right? There's a lot of spam in there. So she's emailing me about opposing a fracking pipeline in Brooklyn. I didn't even know this was going to happen. Kind of seems cool, to be honest. I don't know. I get the risks too. I don't know. The truth is, I have no idea. But what I didn't like was this kind of knee-jerk reaction, the NIMBYism of we're opposing this pipeline. I could be convinced that it's wrong. I'm not here to say oil all good and this is, I don't know. But I would love to see data. And what I didn't like was there was no data here. So I might have emailed my assembly member, as we see here, and I said, I'm a constituent, I'm abundance pilled. Can you let me know, what's the data here? Because this could be jobs, maybe cheaper energy. That seems good. Pro environment. I want the environment to be protected. But what about the outcomes here? We got the automated response, but she responded, and give her credit. She's engaging. I appreciate the assembly person engaging with me and on email. So credit to her. But I just wasn't convinced by the argument, Noah. I don't know if you have any thoughts.
Give us the highlights.
But.
What did she? What was her response to you?
She was citing, that that even though people say fracking is a transition fuel, she was really attacking fracking as a whole, but not this specific pipeline, right? And really, my response was, when I think about these problems, and there are huge environmental problems, I am not one. I don't know how to solve them. I'm not saying they're going to be easy to solve, but what I think about is this graph, right? And this isn't data produced by the Steam Zone, but from our friends at the Global Carbon Project. I don't know if they're our friends or not. So, but look at this, right? We're always coming back to China here on the show, right? Where these are global emissions from China. We're doing pretty going down in the United States, and so this has me, is a little pipeline in Brooklyn going to move the needle? I know small things add up, but I just am not convinced that we should just stop growth, stop progress. And it would be one thing if her email said, hey, I oppose this, but here's my plan for nuclear. Here are the 3 things I'm doing on nuclear to make sure we get nuclear power in New York, on Long Island, in deep Staten Island or Queens, or I don't know. I'd love to see a nuclear power plant in Manhattan. You've seen Battery Park City used to not actually exist. They filled in land there, Noah, and then they made that land. So let's extend Manhattan more and build a freaking nuclear power plant right next to Ellis Island. Let's get creative. But if people were there, that's what I don't like about the NIMBYism, right? Which is when you say no to something, which fair to say no. I want to see you come in with an alternative. Because having to do the alternative, that's where the hard work is done, right? It's easy to say no to stuff, and there is no perfect plan, and that's why you can always say no to stuff. But if you find a way to say no, but here is my plan, here's the positive way forward, and maybe that's, hey, we're not doing fracking, okay, but here's my nuclear plan. If you give me those details, then I can be convinced. But when it's just no without a lot of data, it's tough for me to get on board.